Hey, welcome back. Simon Lees here again. I'm going to talk about ReAmping today. What on earth is ReAmping, I hear you say? ReAmping is something it's been around for a while. The idea is when you go to a recording studio, you can record your guitar on 2 tracks on the recording machine. So you can record the actual sound that you think you want, and then you can record a completely dry sound, which is basically just your guitar plugged into the recording machine directly without going through any bits and pieces. So what you end up with is a very plinky plonky guitar sound. Then that plinky plonky guitar sound gets transferred back out of the recording machine, and you can put it through different amps, different pedals, different you can use different microphones, all sorts of things to sort of change the sound in ways that you can't really do when you record a guitar that's already got distortion and different effects and stuff on. What it means is when you're in a recording situation, you don't have to get your sound perfect before you record. As long as you've got a sound that's roughly okay, that allows you to play the way you want to play, so everything feels kind of all right. It means that the sound engineer or the producer can sort of go away and say, right, we'll try that going through a Mesa Boogie amp or a Fender amp or different amps and different pedal settings and all sorts of things. So it's sort of, in a way, I suppose it could be a bit cumbersome, because if you record all the guitar tracks like that, then it means that you've got so many choices when it comes to mixing. But the way I'm looking at it is it's going to allow me to get my guitar sound absolutely perfect. So when I've gone through this ReAmping process, if you like, I can adjust the settings to what I know is going to suit that record or that track, and just iron out any bugs to the point where the next time I record, I probably wouldn't have to bother with a ReAmping, because I'll already have the settings that are so close to perfection. It's that any further tweak can just be done on the mixing desk in the studio. So that's how I'm looking at it. It's sort of might be a little bit of extra work to begin with, but it's just so nice to be able to have a completely dry guitar track. It might be something where you record a tune and then 5 years later you want to come back to it and think, I could have done a better job of that, but without having to actually play it all again. You've got the bone dry track there that you can send through different effects, different amps, different microphones, different rooms, whatever it is you need to do. Now then, I'm going to introduce you to this little guy here. This is the Boss GT001, and this is what I'm going to use for the ReAmping thing. So when I record in Cubase, as I do, I can record 2 tracks. I can record the track with my normal guitar sound, and then I can record this bone dry track without any effects on. And then I can play that bone dry track back, play it back through the GT001, and have a mess around with it. See if I can make it better. So let's try it. What I'm going to do, just whack a quick drum track down. Nothing too fancy. I'll just double that to make it worthwhile. And then I'm just going to record the guitar tracks, and like I say, I'm going to do it on 2 tracks on Cubase. So there's the normal sounding one, and then the plinky plonky sounding one, for want of a more technical term. Right, so let me show you what I mean. If I just play a little bit of each track, this is the standard one. This is the plinky plonky one. And you can see the wave file looks different. So the wave only goes big where I've actually strummed the strings. In between, the sound dies off very quickly in between the strums. Now I'm going to mute the original track, and then I'm just going to play the second track, which is now going to be played back through the GT001. And now what I'm going to do is just have a mess around with the sound, see if I can make it sound any better, or just show you how different I can make it sound. You know, this is the editor that you get, that you can use. You do all the editing on your computer screen, which is very nice, very handy. So at the moment, if I look at the overdrive setting, I've got a Boss Metal Zone. So let's try a different one. Let's just get the track playing. So you get the idea. I can change, you know, different distortion pedals that I'm using there. I mean, let's try something else. Let's try the EQ. If you've ever done any recording and you think, oh, that was a great take, I played really well, but it doesn't sound great, you know, sometimes you can fix it on the mixer, but if you want to get complete control and literally start all over again, then this is the best way that I've ever come across of doing it, you know. And I say, in the old days, you'd record in a big recording studio, and you could get the signal from the recorder after you've recorded the track, passed back into the live room, back into a guitar amp, and then you can put different pedals with it. You can try different microphones and put the microphones in different places. You can do all of that just within this box, this Boss GT001. The GT001 is the same as the GT100, but without the pedals. So if you've got a GT100, you can do all this as well, you know, which is great. I just fancied having something that I could use in the studio that didn't take up too much space, you know. So it's the first time I've sort of really plugged it in and got to grips with it. So I've still got a fair bit of tweaking and messing around to do, but yeah. I will be doing some more effects tutorials, and I will be using this as a way to sort of explain different effects and stuff. Even if you've got separate pedals, you know, the controls on the separate pedals will be exactly the same as the controls on this thing. So the principles behind what each control does will be exactly the same, you know. So yeah, I mean, I was blown away when I saw this. I thought this is the future. So yeah, I say if you don't do recording, if you're not into, you know, going to recording studios and stuff, then you know, it might not be that useful to be able to do this reamping business. But I think for the rest of it, and I think for me, it's going to be about establishing great guitar sounds, you know, the sounds that work, the sounds that I know are going to work against drums and bass and rhythm guitars and things like that. So, I mean, I'm pretty close already because I've been doing it for, yes, a long time. But you know, there's always room for improvement, you know, and I say this little guy is going to help me do that, I think. So yeah, just a little introduction to ReAmping and a little introduction to the Boss GT 001, and I'll be doing a bit more in the coming weeks. I especially would like to do something on EQ, because I know that's a bit of a mystery to a lot of people. So this coupled with the screen recording and the screen editing will make explaining EQ much easier. So yeah, that's all to look forward to. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.